Hi, my name is Wayne. I'm building a teardrop trailer. It's actually going to be an off-road teardrop trailer. I kind of want to be able to take it up in the mountains, do some boondocking, be able to get off the grid a little bit. So my trailer is actually 5 by 10. It's also going to be 5 foot tall. I wanted to be able to put a 12-inch storage underneath my mattress. That way I can put some backpacking gear, stuff like that. That way I can take my trailer, set it up as a base camp, either do some day hiking from there, or I can grab my backpack, do a multi-day hike. The main style of my teardrop is going to be a Grumman 2. The front of it, I'll show you in a little bit. I got my template that I made out. Is actually more of a Grumman style, and then my hatch is more of a Ben Roy style, which is just a less curve in the back. I've also already built my trailer that I have over here. I put some timbering axle-less suspension on it, threw some 16-inch wheels and tires on it. So it's comes up to about the bottom of it about 20 inches, so that should give me good clearance anywhere, pretty much anywhere I want to go. So this, like I said, it's going to be a 5 by 10 trailer. That's, I'm not going to be doing any rock crawling down any trails. It's mainly just for being able to do some boondocking, some out of the way places off grid. I'll have some solar panels on this eventually and everything. I can catch up to speed, kind of show you what I've done on my template. If you're interested, I can show you a few things that I've done with my trailer, how I mounted the timbering axle suspension. It just throw me some, if you're interested, just throw some comments down there, and I'll try to make a quick video. I probably should have a long time ago, I just didn't do it. Anyway, so right now I'll just show you what I got going on with my template, kind of how I got here and where I'm going. So this is the Grumman style teardrop, and if you see here on this, I modified it. This dark black line is where my false floor is going to be, so all this down here will be storage area. And you can see the curved front and the curved back. I really didn't want to make that so much curved, so what I did was I went with this Ben Roy type style. As you can tell, it kind of comes as a curve and then comes straight down. That's kind of what I went with, and this is my plans that I had come up with here, kind of join the two. And so what I did is I took that, and then since mine's going to be 5 by 10 by 5 foot tall, excuse me, I had to take some 1/8 inch Luan paneling, and I glued them together to give me my 5 by 10. And then I took my T-square. Let me grab that and I'll show you. So what I did is I took my measuring tape and measured every 2 inches out, and then I just took my T-square and I just came here and marked all that out to make my grid, so I could transfer my grid onto my plywood from my graphene paper. That way I would kind of have a basic idea. You don't have to do that. I just kind of liked being able to see it, kind of how I drew it out. So anyways, I'll show you a little bit more. Let me set up and show you what else I did. So what I did was I took some nails and I put them in the board in a few places here, and then I would take this PVC, just molding here, and just take me some vice grips and clip it down so that would stay in there. And then I would start moving this around till I got to my end point up there on where my curve would end on the top of my trailer. And that gave me a pretty good curve, and you can see that this bends pretty good. And even if you don't put a nail in a lot of places, you can still, the way that this bends, it makes a pretty good natural curve to where you can make it pretty aesthetically pleasing to your eye if that's how you like it. You don't necessarily have to transpose it over all the way from what was on your graphing paper. So what I did is, as you can see a little bit, I'll see if I can get you a little bit closer. Come on. There you go. So you can see on my curve here, I have a little bit of a black line. And that was where I had, traced this out, and that was my black line. So from there, I got my jigsaw, and I roughly cut out around this, probably within 1/8 of an inch around this curve. And then from there, I just got my belt sander, and I sanded down to my line. That way, when I go to take my actual plywood that I put underneath here, that's going to be my wall, I'll get the router that has the bearing on top of it. That way I can go around my template and it'll make an exact copy of what I've made here. So this is the front of my teardrop, and what I've done here is, this is the storage area underneath the mattress. And I've already cut out, these are some doors that I got, and those will go there, like so. Get that. And so that's what that will look like there. And then I have my door, they are over here, or one of them is anyway. I ordered my door, and I traced it out. At first I laid the door on here, and then I traced around the bottom of the door, but I had to kind of go in, down at an angle, so I didn't get a good enough trace as what I had liked originally. So what I did was I grabbed the ring that comes with the door, that goes around the outside, the inside. And I flipped it over like that, and then I took a pair of vice grips and put that together, and then I came in and traced this out, and I think I got a little bit more accurate trace of my door. So same thing I did with my you can still see, I'll show you, I still got a little bit here I need to sand down that I had mentioned earlier. So that's what I did with my door. I took my jigsaw, cut the inside of this out here, and then I got my sander and just sanded down to this. So that's what I'm going to do with this, is I'm going to cut this part out with the jigsaw, cut close around to this, and then I'll take my sander and sand up to the line until I get a really, then I'll take my door and place it in there. That way I know I got a really good tight fit. So that's what I plan to do next, and kind of work out this curve over here. So anyways, that's where I'm at. You notice this little piece of wood here. This is where I just put this into support so my template can fall apart on me. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll do a little bit more work, and then I'll show you what I got. All right, I have thrown my template up on my trailer there. I just kind of wanted to get a look at, see what it kind of looked like, make sure my curves look like they wanted to. And I also noticed, and I'll show you right here, in my front storage, this is a little further forward than I want. So I think I'm going to move it a little bit further back towards the fender. So I think what I'm going to do is take this and cut out a little bit further around here, and then take this piece that I cut out, and I think I can flip it and put it here to narrow this down, and that should hopefully be able to give me a template that I can cut that out on my final board. So that's what it looks like right now. Looks pretty good so far, and we'll just keep on going here. Since I had this up, I figured I would go over the inside of my template as well. That way you can see a little bit more what's going on. I have my countertop that will go here, and then it will go all the way back to here. And then I will have my interior cabinets here, and this is my storage underneath. This is going to be, my countertop is going to be actually about 45 inches tall, which is a little tall. Most of your kitchen countertops are about 36 inches. So, but it still should be, this should be comfortable still. And like I said, this side will have a cooler that will be on a slide that will slide out, and then over here will be my freezer that I can slide out. So that should give me about, between those two, that should still give me about 18 inches here in the middle. And I'm planning on, since I'm going to be in my Jeep, I don't have a whole lot of storage, so I have to try to figure out how to get the most out of my real estate that I have on this. So I think what I'm going to do is have a column about 18 inches wide underneath my storage that comes through the bulkhead of my trailer here, that runs the length of the trailer. That way I can throw a canopy tent in there. I think they have those little plastic tables that are about 18 inches wide that are about 4 foot long that I can slide in there. So that's kind of the plan on that. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to, since I had it up, show you what I had going on. Kind of a little bit easier to picture with this template up there. And that's kind of where we're heading. I put my template back up on my trailer, and then I put my door up there, and I found that I could move that door closer to the fender, about 6 inches. So what I did is I put my door back up here, and I traced this out and I cut it. So that piece that I cut out, I flipped over and I put right here, and it's gluing right now. So that way when I stick that back in there, that'll be my template. So that's what that looks like. Hopefully that works out when I go to throw a router on it. Anyways, so we'll see how that works out.